Boom. Hey, welcome, everybody. Super great to see all of you here today, joining me at the great time of, well, it is 3 p.m. Eastern. Hey, if you could turn on your cameras, that would be really, really awesome. So I could see you, you could see me, and we can get a lot of information done today. This is part two. And I'd love to know in the chat bar who made it to part one. If you made it to part one, give me a boom in the chat bar. I'm sure we're going to have a lot of people joining us as the hour goes on. And we're going to keep this tight but effective, very effective. So if you can let me know you know how to use the chat bar by typing a boom in there, that would be great. Part one was the economic ice age. That's what part one was. And today is the recession war room, which is interesting because, oh, hey, Jim, how are you? And Steve, nice to see you guys. Kevin, what's happening? Mike in the house, what's up? This is the reason why I'm doing the recession war room here is because we are in this very dynamic part of the world right now. Very interesting part of the world where I should say timing in the cycle of things. And I think people are being very blind to what's coming. And that's why I'm doing this. And that's why it's free, is to give back, because a lot of people are waiting for companies to have big problems. You know the game, right? When big companies have big problems, then they want you to have big problems. So they could come in and just swoop you up. And I rather you not have big problems, and I rather you win with less stress and more freedom. If that makes sense, type in freedom in the chat bar, if that makes sense. And I do feel if you don't pay attention to what's happening today, then, hey, Kim, nice to see you. If you don't pay attention to what's happening today, in 2008, we called it the Great Purge. And it was a great purge in 2008. It was not prejudiced to any industry at all in 2008. And it put a ton of pressure. I know, because I was running a service company then. And it doesn't matter if you're a plumbing company or you sell a widget or you're a chiropractor, you're not prone, or you're not invisible to this new dynamic that's happening, which is winter. And that's why I want to do this recession war room here. And I'm going to give you very, very, very tactical things to put in place. And I hope right now you, maybe team, put the link for this. This is part two of the business briefing. If you could put the link in there, you should invite one of your friends, because a lot of you that are on here are already successful, which means your friends that are going to suffer are going to come to you. So it's best that we just help them now. And I had a lot of people say to me, you know, Mike, you're doing this master class, this training, and it's 3 p.m. How do we make it? We're working. I was like, you're a business owner. I mean, hang on a minute. You're not. You're an employee, camouflaged, calling yourself a business owner. Because if you can't get away for an hour to learn a very tactical, strategic way to help you win and not lose, because do you think the bigger companies are becoming smaller? Or do you think the big companies are becoming bigger? Tell me in the chat bar. I know they're becoming bigger, because that's why people come to us today, not just because we do life, business, wealth by design, because we have a track record of helping people who want to become bigger, faster, more profitable, with more money. But when companies become bigger, do you think, you guys play with me in the chat bar, do you think it gets easier for a small company or more difficult? What do you guys think? Easier or more difficult? It gets more difficult. And unless you're a company like I owned, and are any of you, I see some new names, I don't know everybody, Are any of you new in my world? Type in new if you're new or newer. Some of you have been in my world a long time. Hey, Tim, Anthony, Kevin. But if you're new in my world, I will share that a lot of what I'm sharing with you is not just what I built, because yeah, okay, so I built a $32 million company with 165 trucks. Most people, they struggle to just manage a $1 million company or getting to a million, or they struggle to manage 5 trucks or 10 trucks. And what I would say is people only struggle because they don't understand, right? They just don't understand the new dynamics. Today, I don't run a service company by choice, but I would navigate it just like I did when I had 165 trucks doing 32 million a year and doing double-digit profit. I would manage it the same way I managed it when I sold the thing in 2017 for one of the highest multiples. And then the same way that I managed when I coached over 1,000 business owners, right? We did 35 3-day events, had over 20,000 people come through our trainings. And I sold that in 2020. And it's no different than the portfolio companies that I run today, or a lot of people that are in my world today that are winning, right? There is a strategy to win, and there is a clear strategy to lose. And the minute you're complacent and comfortable, you have a silent death that's happening. You do. Comfort does that. Comfort is it is a thing that starts to crush you without you even knowing you're being crushed. That's what comfort and complacency does to people today. And I've learned this, so I'm going to share with all of you today a bunch of different strategies. I'm going to want to ask what industry you're in, but right now we serve over 120 different industries. And my own business, I'm not bragging. Look, I've learned, I put in, I got the war scars, and some of you wouldn't believe me if I didn't have wisdom built over doing over 500 million. Okay, that's what my companies did. And that was as of 2020. So if you do the math, it way exceeds that today. And I just wish there was more people telling all of you, how do you avoid pain and suffering? And I'm going to get to those things, but type in the chat bar. I want to know 2 things from you guys in the chat. What industry are you in? What industry are you in? And what state do you live in, or country? Because I always have people that are in many different countries. And it's also nice to see some of my legacy members on here. Hey, Anthony, super great to see you here today. HVAC will be in, I'll talk about that in a minute. We'll be in Oklahoma in September. So Oklahoma's about to shake because we're bringing the power there. All right, Salon in Colorado, awesome. Home electrification on HVAC plumbing, California. There you go. New York, yep, cleaning service, setting up coaching biz, financial services. I love all of those, and I know all of them really well. And what I'm going to give to you, you'll either apply or you'll modify slightly and put right into action in your company. I do like to let everybody know, who this is for. So this training is for business owners, okay? So if you're a business owner, this training's gonna fit you perfect. It's for founders that are really tired of waiting to create their own economy. And I'm a creator of my own economy. I am a movement maker. That's why the last couple of decades, I have such a following of people. And it's really for entrepreneurs that are ready to play offense instead of defense. And a lot of you are probably already doing that. And I was doing a coaching call today because I do a whole lot of, private one-on-one coaching and different things. And on the coaching call today, I was explaining to the person, like, you're not outrunning technology. You're just not moving fast enough. And anything you don't outrun will overrun you. It will overrun you. And that's what we have with a lot of this AI stuff, is it's outrunning everybody and then it's crushing everybody. And the fact that you think you're playing around and you're sleeping with ChatGPT doesn't make you brilliant. It actually makes you dangerous, and you're not looking because they have you stuck in the widget. that you're not seeing what's hidden within the weeds there, right? Who this training today is not going to be for. If you're hoping things will go back to normal, I got news for you. Type it in the chat bar. There's no back to normal, only the new norm. There's no back to normal. So if you, and look, I'm from the day, and looks like some of you might be from the day and some of you maybe not, but I'm from like pre-beeper. I think that's the best way to frame it, because some of you can't even comprehend that there was a day that there was no cell phones, right? So I'm pre-beeper. Is anybody else pre-beeper? Type in beeper in the chat bar. That meant you had to go to a pay phone or a phone with a 20-foot cord you drag through your house. And so I've watched, and I've started my business back, well, might have been beepers just coming in. So when I go back and look at this time, there is no back to normal, because the normal's been changing your entire life. The pandemic changed it, 2008 changed it, 9/11 changed it, everything changed it. And I feel like, and you tell me, do you know any business owners today that are clinging to 2020 like that's how it was done? Do you know anybody clinging to old practices? I mean, I just got I just went and picked up my truck because I got an oil change and they rotated the tires, and the guy, they're still using like paper sheets, and they have computers, but you could tell it's really old, right? And it seems like entrepreneurs, people today are allergic to this pressure and change and truth. So this definitely is not going to be for anyone that wants to operate on hope, because try, hopes, and maybes are not going to help you. They're not. And leaders who freeze when decisions get hard, well, I got news for you. If you don't learn how to unfreeze and get tactical and strategic, this new norm is going to be wild over the next 24 to 36 months. Now, let me flip the other side for all of you. Why should you listen to me? Well, I mean, I did exit 2 companies in a 5-year period, and every one of them were high 8-figure companies. And I navigated through 9/11, the 2008, the COVID lockdown, the inflation and labor shortages, right? And I studied not just what I did, I studied the patterns of people. And I've helped create, they did the work, but I helped guide over, now it's well over 100 plus decamillionaires in the last 40 something months. And because I look at patterns, trends, behaviors, and habits of the people and the market and what's happening. Let's face it, the stock market is nothing more than an emotionally driven vehicle, right? If any of you are trying to bet on that, you're trying to bet on the behavior of your children. You just don't know. How many of you have children? Type in children in the chat bar. Like, you just probably shouldn't bet on what they'll do or won't do, because it's like the stock market. It's your very best guess. And I'm also, look, as much as I'm a believer in riding the long wave here, I'm also kind of a little impatient. I wanted to become wealthy, and I've been debt-free since I'm 28 years old. And I don't know how many more days. Oh, we're 27. So in 2 days, on May 29th, I'll be level 55. My son, who's on here, he'll be level 26. And I don't know about you, if you're just a little impatient, you just would like to have more money, but not more money, financial peace. Can you type in financial peace in the chat bar? Now, not everybody types it is actually being true, because I love watching the holiday, and I watch more broke people take time off this last weekend. And I worked Saturday, I work Sunday. Now, I call it work for you. When you live within your soul's purpose and your passion, you don't take days off, because that's like saying you hate what you do. So I don't take days off, because I love what I do every single day. I do it when I'm barbecuing. I do it when I'm with my wife. I do it when we walk to the beach down the road, because passion is a super magnet for wealth. And you might want to write that down. Hey, Hank, super nice to see you. Passion is that super highway to wealth. And I know a lot of people are just tired of waiting to win. And I want to give you, even though today is going to be very tactical and strategic, and I'm going to give you things either to watch in your own company or pay attention to or action items to do, all the things I wish people told me to do. And I'm going to give you those items to save you from this and get you. I want you to be patiently impatient to get to financial peace. Because when you get to financial peace, you could say no to anything you want to say no to, and yes to everything you want to say yes to. And everything you're repeating to yourself, you're creating anyway. There is no lack of employees. Actually, I looked at the population chart the other day, and I don't know, I think for every one death, there's 3 births. So there's no lack of population. Let's be clear. There's no lack of humans on planet Earth. There's only lack of leadership and skill. And when people are telling me, I still watch them still saying, I'll be 55. All right, Alex, level 55. Still saying it's hard to find good people. And I'm like, no, it's not. You're horrible at it. You don't know the strategies. You don't know the tactics. You don't understand humans. Because if you understood humans, you would have a waiting list of people to work for you. There's, oh no, but you don't know. Inside the trades, now I serve 120 different industries, from AI people, nutritionists, doctors. We got people that specialize in cybersecurity, insurance, people that own automobile repair shops. It's one of the gifts that we have at Food Dog Group is we're not a one-trick pony. I used to be a dancing bear one-trick pony, being an electrician by trade, and got my electrical license, and I had my inspector's license. I only got my inspector's license so I could fist fight with the inspectors because I was so tired of them bullying me around and stuff. But the gift of all these different industries and not being a one-trick pony of a best practice organization like I used to be is I used to only have one perspective, one box. And now I got 120 boxes of information. And that became my super highway. And you might want to write a note here. My super highway was to take things from other industries that no one else was doing, put it in my industry. Jay Abraham taught me that a long time ago. If you don't know Jay Abraham, he's one of the highest paid consultants on earth. And I paid him for 3.5 years to one-on-one coach me, because if you want to be the best in the world, you invest in knowledge to become the best in the world. Otherwise, no one makes more by learning less. If you agree, type in agree in the chat bar. Do any of you make more money by learning less? No, nobody. And nobody makes more money by less alignment. They make more money by more alignment. I know that because when me and my wife are aligned, my beautiful wife who's on here, we've been together, it's 4 decades now, since we're 15 years old. When we're always aligned, and in the beginning, maybe not so much, but for a very long time now, when we're aligned, we create massive wealth. When we're not aligned, we did not create massive wealth. So alignment is really key for this. And I just wanted to throw that out there. I do have a couple things. I hope I could share it. I'm going to share it right now. And then I'm going to go into oh, you know what? Let me do this first, because this will be better for you guys. Let me give you a little recap on some of the indicators from the first one that we did. And here's one of I look for what's called recession signals. But I want to let you know, I'm not worried about recessions, because some of the biggest money I've made was either during a recession or coming out of a recession. So I know how the trends and cycles and patterns go. The only people that panic are the people that are untrained about the patterns of what's coming. And more wealthy people will be created from now to 2030 than ever in history. Greater than the 1900s in the industrial age, more people. But on the flip side, more people that you know are going to become broke and out of business. Consumer confidence has dropped okay? Consumer confidence dropped, and they're talking about 15,000 plus store closures, stores closing down. Yeah, right now. You know what I mean? Right now, in 2025. So that's a interesting thing, because when one thing closes, it allows something else to open. And wealth follows collapses. And you might want to write that down. Wealth follows collapses. And if you're prepared, just remember, like, I mean, in 2008, 2009, they called it the Great Recession. It was the closest thing to the great, closest thing to a depression that probably a lot of us have felt. But US millionaire households increased in that time from 2009 to 2010. Check this out. US millionaire households increased by 16% right after the crash. Type in the chat bar, what does that tell you? What does that tell you? It tells you that recessions are opportunities, not consequences, right? And in 2008, Amazon stock, I bet some of you wish you figured out Amazon, right? But let's not take anything from him. I mean, he did what most of you would never do, right? He did what most of us would never do. He did what people thought was crazy, and then it became amazing. So now, you know, do any of you on here actually never buy anything from Amazon? I'm just curious. Just type it in the chat bar. But the Amazon stock rose from $35 in 2008 to over $300 by 2014. A 750% gain. Alex, never on Amazon? I'm just going to send you something from Amazon. Someone, make sure we send him a book from Amazon. I don't want him to feel left out. Let's make Bezos some money here. But if you look at that, if you knew a stock was going to go from 35 to 300, tell me in the chat bar, what would you do? You sell your house, you'd sell your dog, you would sell your car, you sell your computer, you'd sell everything and put it all in. Well, here's my question. How certain are you on your own skills? And are you all in on you? Because no matter what I delivered today, if you're not all in on you, you're all out. And you might want to write that one down, but you might want to highlight it and circle. If you're not all in on you, you're probably all out. Now, also, if you look at some of the things that were founded during the recession window, Airbnb, right? Uber, Slack, WhatsApp. I mean, the worst economic collapse in generation became the launch pad for a new class of tech, tech and real estate millionaires. Now, let's look at this. If it became a new world of tech outside of the recession, what do you see? Tell me in the chat bar. What do you see happening right now with tech? With tech, tell me. You know what's happening. We're in a tech super world right now. That's number one. What are you seeing globally, at least in the United States? If you're in the United States, what are you seeing with real estate prices for homes that are 3 to 10 million? What are you seeing? Homes that are 3 to 10 million. Well, I'll tell you what you're seeing. At least I see it all around here. Homes that are 3 to 10 million, they're going on the market all around. I'm looking. Virginia Beach on the market. Jersey Shore on the market. North Carolina Beach on the market. Maine on the market. All of these $3 to $10 million properties on the market. Well, on the market. What does that tell you about real estate? And last time I was on Zillow, it was showing people reducing their cost. To me, this is the tech opportunity of superhighway. Now, you don't need to be AI to make a fortune. You don't. You need to leverage your superpowers. I know my superpowers. We're the best in the world at guiding people on how to do life, business, and wealth by design. Because if it's not by design, it's by default. And we are masters at marketing, sales, operation, systems, understanding the human mind. We understand lead generation better than I'll go on TV and battle against people. We understand sales and serving on a psychological level of it. We understand operations and culture And we understand that clapping in a company and playing fun music videos does not change the world. It doesn't change it there, right? Now, what does Warren Buffett say? Let's see if you can answer it. He says, be fearful when others are greedy and greedy when others are fearful, right? That's what I'm gonna dump that in the chat bar for you, because I want you actually to read this, and I want you to read it over and over. Those of you not on camera, I'd love for you to be on camera so I don't feel so weird. But if not, if you're naked or something, please just leave it off. How about Ray Dalio? There's a smart dude there, right? The economy runs like a machine. If you understand the cause and effect relationship and how the levers work, you can navigate anything, even chaos. How about that? Right? I should read that one again. I'm going to dump it. Let me put that in there for you, because you should consider writing this one down and share it with your team. There it is. Look at it. The economy runs like a machine. It is a machine. It's predictable. At least a lot of it's predictable. Maybe you don't know the effects of pandemics, but look, COVID wasn't the first pandemic the world's ever experienced. Did you think there would never be one? I mean, who sat there and said, I bet there will never be another pandemic or something? Created or not created, that's your own belief. But the economy runs like a machine. If you understand the cause and effect relationship and how the levers work, you can navigate anything, even chaos. Now, I'm going to go into strategies for you guys. Before I go to strategies, I want to share something with you. Are any of you attending Business Power coming up? Type in Business Power in the chat bar if you're attending it. We do have a kick-ass training coming up. We opened up one spot because one person has actually backed out. Steve's coming. You're going to have a blast. And Business Power is a 3-day event that's coming up, and it's at the Jersey Shore. Team, there's the date. It's June 6th to 8th. And I'm not kidding. We only have one spot because it's in a house. We had 30 people registered, and we have one spot left there. And so, but if you guys are curious, any of you on here, I'll put this here. They'll throw the link for you. If you want to look at whatever trainings we have coming up, we have a page just for that. You could go on and look at it. We have a Business Power, like I said, one spot. If you are not a master in business, producing cash, your company's not growing by 20 to 30% right now, you don't have a lot of money in your bank, your company's not positioned either to exit, to get wealth through an ESOP or something like that, ready to hand it down to family if you choose to make it go generational, I'd urge you should be the first to grab the last spot. Now, we don't need you there because whoever comes. We do it because we want to, not because we have to. But we will tell you every strategic move we're making right now, and every move that we have made, and every move I made to build, scale, and exit. But you guys could look through this. I'm only going to point out one more here, maybe one more after that. Coaching Power. Are any of you coaches? Type in coach in the chat bar. If you're a coach, I would tell you to consider Coaching Power. It's 2 days. If you're not a coach, don't pay attention to it. I'm only doing it once in 2025, and it's just because I believe there's a lot of people with a lot of skill, and I believe the more coaches, the more we change the world. I'm going to share every secret thing that I know about building and scaling a coaching business that helps people with real change, not this puppet stuff that some people are doing, how to do it right. So if you're interested in that, and then of course you can look up, there's a whole bunch of stuff. If you live near Tulsa, we got really amazing stuff going there. You could just look at this when you get a chance. Last thing I'll share with you is we do have a new program we're launching. We're on a waiting list, but if any of you are interested in it, we are launching what's called virtual onsites. Virtual onsites where, depending on the size of your company, we will do a virtual onsite of your business and look at every single aspect. And it makes it way more affordable for people because you like to get someone like me out there. You don't have to pay, or my team, you don't have to pay for flight and room and food and travel and all that. Unless it's a really cool place, we will travel. We just got back from Nashville, Tennessee. But if you want someone to do a virtual and watch everything from the way you answer the phones, the way you do your sales, your operations, your systems, your SOPs, hit me up. They'll give you the link to team at Food Dog Group. We'll have a call if it's a fit cool. If not, boom, it's not. All right. Hey, everybody, let's get into strategies here. If you're ready for these strategies, can you give me a boom in the chat bar? If you're not ready for strategies, well, get the hell ready because we're going to do it. We're going to do it no matter what. All right. So the first part right now that we need to focus on in this this war against this recession war room that made me want to build this for all of you, because I've been through multiple recessions now, is the first part is you have to take back control. And I believe so. Take back control. And I think a lot of people have this, what you control versus what controls you. And you have to shift to a command style thinking right now. And I think there's a couple people, they're in a controlled thinking is one thing that they're in. And some people are in a victim thinking, right? But you got to take back control. And if you were, since most of you have been in my world, what is something that has control over you? Is it the agency that you're paying for leads, you're not getting it? What do they say? The animals own the asylum or something? Is it your culture doesn't believe in change and where you're going? The children, okay. Why do when I hear, movies that programs you, when I hear the word the children, I always think the Children of the Corn. What a creepy effing movie that was, right? That's why people probably should become, owners of guns and weapons. Those of you that don't believe in weapons, hey, don't do it. Just be thankful that some of us have it. We'll protect you. That's our job, to save you from yourself. But let's shift to a command thinking, right? A command thinking. And a command thinking is helping people, helping them see how they think. Remember, the world is layered with trauma. I just had someone the other day on social media, and I reach out to people because that's just who I am. And so if you ever private message me on Facebook, it's not a robot, it's not AI, it's me. You could test me on that. I believe in you too much and respect you too much to have some robot respond to my personal Facebook. And the guy's suffering with sickness and disease and all these things he's battling, and pains and aches and arm aches and this and that. And all I did was ask him one question: do you have trauma? And he said, tons of it. And I said, well, the doctor is not going to tell you to fix that. But if you don't fix that, and here's what I learned, and I want you to really focus in on me. Pay attention. People have sales trauma, marketing trauma, business building trauma. 2008 created damn trauma. People's divorces created trauma. Now, I'm not here to trigger your divorce from 30 years ago or whatever, but I hear people tell me, oh, you don't know, Mike, I was divorced. I'm like, oh my God, it sounds horrible. When? 30 years ago. I'm like, well, you haven't figured it out 30 years later, trillions of dollars all over the world, billions of people on the planet, no lack of opportunity. I get it. It's not that you don't want to figure it out. You're just suffering from trauma. How many of you, if you would be honest with me, you have marketing trauma? You paid for something in marketing and you got your ass handed to you. Come on, just type in something in the chat bar so I know, right? You were like the magazine, the billboard, the TV, the banner ads, right? Yeah, Diego, what's happening, Larry? And so now if someone tells you, just like event trauma, how many of you went to some event? Well, first off, you paid $97. What the F did you think you were going to get? You're going to get motivation. You're going to clap for 3 days, high five a bunch of people that act like your friends. They'll never reach out to you again. You do nothing. And you thought $97 was going to change your life? $97 didn't change anybody's life, right? If I thought that, I mean, we'll invest here at the Food Dog. We'll invest, I don't know, $350,000 this year in education. We have 6 or 7 coaches now. You know why? Because the way you get to command thinking is by removing trauma and putting in new thinking. You should write that down. Because some of you are just driven by the belief systems of your your parents. Now, I want you to make a bold decision, and you don't have to tell me in the chat bar, but what's 3 tactical decisions you can make in the next 24 hours? Tactical means clear, precise, action-driven, right? You know exactly what the outcome's going to be. And I just did a post something like perfection is the new poverty, right? Isn't that true? Because if you're trying to be perfect at something, you're slowing it down. You're slowed down. Now, the biggest stalled decision is the next one you need to make. I watch people, I'm afraid to hire someone. What if I run out of jobs? I'm like, what if you never hire somebody and you die doing what you're doing? That's hard. That sounds worse to me. Well, what if and then I got people, they say, oh, I got debt. I said, no, you don't. You got a poverty mindset. You don't have debt. The billionaires and multimillionaires don't run around saying I got debt. They say I have leverage. And I want you to write that down. They don't sit there and go, I got debt and I got credit card bills. I'm like, no. You borrowed money to get an outcome and you didn't get the final outcome you wanted, which now you need to be more tactical and strategic to leverage it. I love my credit card. I love American Express. You know why? Where else? I mean, I buy stuff, I pay off the card. I have not carried a balance on a credit card my entire life. My entire life, I've never carried. Because my dad said, if you put stuff on the card, pay the damn thing off. He's not around no more. He passed a couple years ago, but it still resonates. Don't carry a balance. I've never carried, and I'm guessing, let me see. I'll ask my son. Let's see if he'll type in the chat bar, and he'll only be truthful if he does or not. Ask him, do you carry a balance, Michael? Let's see if he carries a balance on his credit card. I know the answer because he tells me. He tells me. I know. He doesn't carry no. He's 26. Never carried a balance on his credit card. You know why? That's called leverage. I give you money, I pay it. You give me points. I buy shit for free. Thank you, Amazon. Thank you, American Express. Thank you, Visa. But you have to make this. You have to take the biggest stalled decision. I promise you, no matter how dark and deep it is, there is always light when somebody shows you the light. You guys know, a lot of you know me for a long time. I got all the damn lawsuits. I have the $4 million lawsuit, settled at $1 million, thought it put me out of business. I got the 5 employees, key employees quit 1 week. That happened to me twice. My general manager started a business while working for me. He tried to screw me over, tried to take 15 of my top employees. I've been through it. I have the trucks crashed. They hit the bridges. They flipped over. They almost canceled insurance. I had 140 trucks. They're saying we can't insure you. I got it. It's either an excuse. Write this down. It's either an excuse or it's a power. If it's an excuse, it holds you back. If it's a power, it motivates you. It energizes you. We got to keep going here. I got a lot more to cover with you guys. So that whole strategy was what I call war room mentality. War room mentality, right? Take back control and demand it. I don't know, so many of you asking like, what are you waiting for? Permission? Now, if you're new in my world, I don't get less intense. I only get more. So if you don't love intensity and you're looking for kumbaya stuff, I would just tell you, bounce now, flip me the middle finger. I still love you and I'll help you. But if intensity, hey, Matt Pillis, what's up? He's used to me. He knows me over a decade. He's wondering why I'm not more intense right now. I'm getting warmed up, Matt. Don't you worry about a thing. Okay, next thing, fortify cash flow without losing momentum. Let me say it again. Fortify cash flow without losing momentum. What does that mean? I learned a phrase a long time ago. I didn't make it up, but I don't remember who taught it to me either. They said, cut the fat, keep the muscle. Cut the fat, keep the muscle. Now, when you look at the fat, which by the way, I had a steak, which was delicious, but it had too much fat and I don't eat a lot of fat. So I cut the shit off, which reminded me of this strategy. Cut the fat, eat the best part of steak. Now, my dad, he ate all the fat. He also, what do you want me to tell you? He had heart problems too. So he probably should have ate less damn fat, right? Even though it tastes good, it doesn't mean it's always good for you. Now, the muscle is, you got to do an evaluation. You got to do an evaluation of every aspect of your company. Look at every area. Look at the before areas, all your marketing. I watch people, I'm doing marketing and I'm not getting enough leads. I said, okay, well, what ones are giving you leads? I don't know. I said, come on, you got to get a report. Give me a report. Why do email? Okay, well, what kind of email? What's the open rate? What's the headline? What do they do next? Do they click on links on the bottom? I can't make a decision off of your emotional driven behavior. I need the stats. Yeah, well, my people can't sell. No, 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 they can sell. You've yet to sell them on the purpose and the vision. Okay. The problem is not the people, it's your skill, right? So I want you to analyze, and all of you should have an organizational chart. I don't care if you are one person. I don't even care if you're starting a business. You know how you start a business? You create an organizational chart and your damn name's in every box. That's okay. Because your goal is to scale and get your name out of damn boxes, right? I wonder if I have one to show. Hang on. Let me see if I could do a little show and tell for you. Oh, well, this is my actual one. Hey, Aaron, if somebody could throw me, if anybody's on, throw me the org chart in chats and just tell me when it's there. I'd love to share the one that we share with people. And I want to show you, you could take a snapshot of the screen if you want, because I believe that this organizational chart fits, it fits for all of you. It fits for all of you, and you could just modify it. So I'll let you take a snapshot of the thing. So when they find it, they'll tag me. Just message me in the bar there. So in order for you to cut the fat and keep the muscle, you need an organizational chart. You need a daily report and tracking and projections. Now, I'm going to give you two pieces for every one of you that run a company. There's something that has to happen. And when I say has to, I can only give it to you as a consideration. But if I do it and it helped me, I think it will help you. You need to have a projection for tomorrow. And let's see how many of you will be honest for me. I got to move this so I could see your chat bar. So I can see the chat bar, and I'll grab the org chart so you'll answer for me. How many of you, before you went to bed last night, you said, my projection tomorrow, my projection for revenue, leads, conversion, it was 100%. Tell me. So Larry says weekly projections every Monday. Okay, Larry, I want you to consider something. See, weekly projections on Monday is then an art of trying to course correct, which most people, not you probably, most people try to do it at the end of the week. I ran every company, projection the night before, reality the end of the day. And I want to report either from managers, dispatchers, I don't care who does it. At the end of the day, 8 p.m., I want to report. But here's the thing, Matt, and you probably do this. I want to know, what did we do to win? And what are you doing to course correct? If you're not giving me, see, the report alone is useless. That's information. Transformation is, I want to know this. You had a projection. Did you meet it? Why did you meet it? Tell me why you met it. If you didn't meet the projection, I want you to tell me why we didn't meet. Okay, let me get this org chart. Why you didn't meet the projection. Now, not you guys are smart. That's why you're here. But what I've noticed by coaching over 1,000 business owners is that the majority of them have a projection, they get daily reporting, and they don't make actions on it. They don't know what actions to do with it. They don't ever course correct, because if you're 3,000 short today, guess what? I need to make 3,000 more tomorrow. I have to make 3,000 more tomorrow. And I found that most companies that are not scaling to the size they want, they have a leadership skill set gap. And the gap is, they might look at numbers, but they don't know what the hell to do with it, right? Or they look at numbers. Look, how many people, I'll use the service industry because maybe a lot of you, but everybody, it doesn't matter if you're a chiropractor or a plumber, it doesn't matter. But when I look at it, and I have people tell me the first quarter of the year always sucks, I'm like, no. The first quarter doesn't have a problem at all. You have a problem. because you've been doing this 20 years, which means if you had anything repeating over the last 20 years, well, you're either ignoring or you don't want to learn how to do it different. And the world's conditioned people. In my one business, they used to call it shoulder season. And one day I said to myself, what if that doesn't have to be real? And then I learned more how to do marketing and sales and engage with customers. And then I never had a shoulder season again for a decade. No shoulder season. Why? Because businesses that are say that they're weather driven are normally led by shitty marketers. Okay? They're led by shitty marketers. If you're a good marketer, there's no lack of business. If you're a bad marketer, there's lack of skill. I don't know how to tell you. That's why we did the damn training called Marketing Power. Did any of you attend Marketing Power? I told you the highest level marketing on that damn thing that I learned from decades of doing this. And when you're a marketer, you produce leads from the air. Okay, let me show you this because I want to get back on track. Here's an organizational chart, right? Now, this is built for an actual business. This is called Food Dog Service because, you know, we built a whole company, whole service company. I'm not sure if I'll run it someday and where we might open it in the world. Who knows? But it shows you, I'm not going to go through this because this would take us, you know, a couple hours to really deep dive into it. But even if you're a brand new company starting, you want an organizational chart, put your damn name in all of it. And later you'll start to take names out of it and put names in because you have to have it to have it. Somebody taught me that a long time ago. They said you have to have it to have it. And that means if you want to scale, well, you probably won't do it by doing it all by yourself, right? How many of you are still trying to do that? You're trying to be a lone ranger. I wanted to show you something else. You try to be a lone ranger, right? That's why, like, I built, you guys will benefit from this. I found this the other day. Look at this. I thought this was cool. Are any of you in the HVAC business at all? Do you do HVAC at all? I thought this was so cool. I'm going to share it because I tripped across it the other day. Look at this. I thought this was such a clear, clean marketing thing we did right there. Isn't that just such a great message? Tell me in the chat bar. Can I get a little kudos? I don't know what year this is. I mean, I was doing stuff like this a decade ago, but isn't it just like, it's like an air conditioner on a beach, a condenser. You guys know, those of you that don't know, that's the part that's helped cooling your house. If you don't know what that box is on the left. And on the right is a beach chair. And then there's a gold medal umbrella, which we had some gold medal umbrellas made, Mike. You know why? Because they were really affordable. And we just went on the beach and we gave gold medal umbrellas like that. And then we looked and it was like, how cool was it? All these gold medal umbrellas made a great photo shoot. And we were dominators. Everything I did, I'm a movement creator and a dominator. So I found that. I thought that was really cool. If that was a cool share, can you type in cool in the chat bar? Cool. Just like an air conditioner. There you go, everybody. You're allowing me to have fun with myself right now. And then I came across one more. Now this I thought was interesting. It's only because I tripped across it. You could apply the strategy to any business. But I thought, let's see, there's probably a year. Is there a year on this thing? Well, I don't know the damn year of it, but it was a long time ago. And if you guys remember, there was this R22. Some of you don't know what the hell it is, but they were getting rid of refrigerant. Do you remember this, Mike? They were getting rid of refrigerant. I use this strategy in probably 40 different industries that have things that are going away. Like they implement new safety things, or there's new insurance policies or new building policies. So this strategy I have leveraged anytime government or something is changing a big protocol. I ask how to leverage it. Like right now, there's a lot of words on what's the shit they're putting in the air. I just saw it. I wanted to tell Aaron because Aaron lives in Canada, and they said Canada is, well, this is my words, they're healing everybody. So they're putting the stuff that kills viruses in the air. I don't know if it's true or not, but chemtrails, right? So any of you that do indoor air quality and aren't leveraging damn chemtrails, what a waste of your missing momentum. I mean, you might as well call it the obvious. But look at this, Matt. This is I don't remember what year this is. Maybe you guys could tell me, but look, this was a home alert awareness, right? You see the power of that? Like awareness. You better get this done because this stuff's going to be banned. And when you hear banned, you say to yourself, oh my goodness, what's happening? I don't even know what my mom would be like, I don't even know what that is, but I wonder if I should be concerned. And she knows she has an air conditioner, so she would call, right? All right, so we have fortify cash flow without losing momentum, which projection versus reality. Cut the fat, keep the muscle, and AR reduction. So if people owe you money, don't let them owe you money. Let them pay their bills, right? So that's that strategy. I have more strategies I would love to teach you guys. Would you be cool like staying a little longer? Hey, Jim Padilla in the house. Hey, Lori, nice to see you. If you guys are cool staying a little longer, I'd love to stay a little longer with you guys. Just tell me in the chat bar if you got to go, because I do want to give you a couple more strategies. And those of you that are just joining, in case you didn't hear it, and we have one more spot left at our business power training in New Jersey. So if you're moving slow and the PE firms and big companies are stepping on your throat, even if you don't know it, I'm the ultimate equalizer. Call me the underdog trainer. Come to me and I'll help you out. All right, let's do another one. So this one is you want to operate leaner, smarter, faster. Leaner, smarter, faster. And decision speed, okay, decision speed is your advantage. How do you make decision speed? You have to have a decision-making criteria. You need a decision-making criteria. And most people don't have one for their life or for their company. They have a emotional decision-making criteria, not a tactical decision-making criteria. When I look at making a decision, I want to know some things like, what does it do for my team, right? What does it do for my clients? What does it do for my company? What does it do for my life, my owners? And so I would challenge all of you well, let's do a poll real quick. How many of you have a documented SOP decision-making criteria that every one of your employees have, that before they bring you anything, they go through the checklist and say, here's why we need to buy this, do this, take this on? Give me a yes or give me a soon. A soon means you're going to do it because it makes logical sense. And a yes means congrats. But a lot of people don't do it, and that's okay. That's why you're here, so you can put this in place. You don't scale to 200 employees, 165 trucks, 32 million tracking for 40 and doing 500 million unless you have clear decision-making criteria, right? That's why a lot of people have us in their world, because we're like their board of advisors, and they go like this. Does my board of advisors agree? See, you go back 3 decades ago, you had to do all this yourself, and maybe you took on a business partner. Anybody have a partnership go bad? Good luck at the doctors, Kim. Type in a pissed face. Did you ever have a partnership go bad? If you did, well, then you know that a lot of people, to not be alone, they grabbed partnerships. But see, the big PE firms in this stuff, they have what's called board of advisors, right? That's what we've become for companies. Is why make a decision like, let us help you make the decision, except we won't take your soul, right? We won't take, 50 or 60% of the company, promise you you'll be rich. And then one day, Channel 7 News, and that didn't work out so well. Did you ever hear that before? Tell me in the chat bar. When you have a board of advisors, they get to look. You move this fast. You got your decision-making criteria. You go to really smart people. This is what I want to do. They leverage all their wisdom. You win quicker. All right. Also under leaner, smarter, and faster, you got to build lean systems. Every system, you want a minimum output of 3, 1 to 3. That's baby food stuff. Okay. Like if I do one marketing piece, I want 3 outputs, not 3 leads. I want 3 ways to minimize leverage that for outputs. Everything you do, you buy a truck, a computer, I don't care what it is, vitamins, I want it to optimize, I want it to multiply. Because if everything you do, you multiply by 3, you have a scalability, you have a compound effect. So ask yourself, if I take this next call, if I do this next text, I'm hoping that watching this training alone here is going to give you a multiple of 3. And we already talked about the org chart, but I want to give you one more thing, and we'll see who has it. So we'll do a little poll on it. How many of you have a documented accountability chart? Type in accountability if you do. 99% of the people don't. See, an org chart tells you what they do. An accountability chart tells you what their top KPI is, so everybody knows. It says if I walk into your company or if I do a virtual onsite, one of the things I'm going to ask for, what's your org chart? What's your accountability chart? And when I look at, if you don't have an accountability chart, well, how the hell do you want to hold people accountable if you don't have it? You need the accountability chart so I could go, oh, so Lisa her sole purpose is to have a 80+ conversion on the phones, to maximize the opportunity of revenue, whatever it is. But if you don't have it, and that's phrase, I've been saying this phrase for over 30 years. So write it down if you never heard it. If you did, hear it like it's brand new. If it's not written, it's not real. It's not written, it's not real. And people tell me, oh, I know that. I say, show me in writing, because if it's not in writing, it's not repeatable. Because the day you're not around, it just can't happen. It just won't happen, right? Okay, next thing. All right, this is my last one, and then I'll tie a big ribbon around this for you guys. This is maybe one of the biggest things that I'm going to cover, and that's why I have it right at the end for you, is because I'm seeing, we know that we have chaos. There's 2 types of chaos. There's defined chaos and undefined chaos. Write it down, everybody. Do you have some notes? Do you have at least a page of notes and some actions? Tell me in the chat bar. Do you have some actions? The undefined is chaos that you don't know is happening. It's chaos that you're not predicting could be going on. Like, if I do this, what could happen? The question to ask yourself is this: what don't I see? Did you write that down? What don't I see? I'm going to do this marketing. What don't I see? I'm going to hire this agency. What don't I see? I'm going to hire this employee. What don't I see? That is that's the chaos that's unidentified. But then there's chaos that is identified. I see it. It's cause. There's drama in the company. There's drama in my world. There's drama in your family, maybe. And that's identified chaos. Now, I believe that leadership is going to be defined in 3 roles. Is going to be leadership. Because AI is really changing the dynamic, my new belief system is that your company is going to have managers, right? And let's just put a C-level. If you don't know what C-level means, a CEO, COO, CFO, CMO, right? You have your, chief financial officer and chief operations officer. So let's put them all as management functions. And all of your companies are going to have these management functions to scale. I then believe you're going to have captains. You're going to have captains that are helping steer the ship. You have the managers saying, here's where we're going. The captains are driving. And number 3, you're going to have coaches. And coaches are going to be the ones that are saying, motivating you, and we could do this and we can navigate that. And the last one, you're going to have consultants. And consultants are going to be like the Wizard of Oz. It's going to be the great Oz behind the curtain. It's going to be wisdom. ChatGPT is not going to be your consultant. That's going to be knowledge, right? Consultants are going to be your wisdom. And so if you look at how the organizational chart's going to change in the future, you're going to have these managers, these captains, these coaches, and these consultants. And normally it starts with the 2 and squeezes in the middle. Normally it starts with a manager, which is owner, CEO. You're the founder, the creator of the company. It then goes consultant because you want to make the right moves at the right time. So you hire the consultant, you hire the source. That's why people reach out to us every week and join our world, because they want to know how to build something. They don't know how. So if they own the company and we guide them, we fill in the middle gaps, right? So you want to, the other part of lead out of this chaos is I want you to write down the word certainty, certainty. And certainty is to have yourself leading in this place of knowing that you're going to make the best decisions at the best time with the best people, with the best resources and the best tools. That's what you're going to, do. Some people are joining now. Well, that's good. You're going to get the end, which is good. Maybe we'll share the replay. Does anybody want the replay? Type in replay if you want it. I don't know if we're sharing all the replays, but maybe we'll share it if enough of you want it, because I think you should play it with your damn management people for sure, for sure. And if any of you are looking, I am doing more besides the virtual on-sites and all the trainings we're doing. I'm doing some specialty speaking for companies. Depending where you're at, think about me if you think I could just come in and, help them up level their skills. But, which leads me to the next part of lead with certainty is invest in reskilling and upskilling your teams right now. When? Type in now in the chat bar, everybody. Type in now in the chat bar. If you're not reskilling and upskilling your team, well, then you're saying they're expendable. And for me, in my world, we have team right now. I don't know what we have, 17, 18, whatever, team members. We have them in 6 different countries. We run them. Our whole team is virtual all over the damn globe today. And they're not expendable to me. They have a choice. They can hang out with anybody, but they choose to hang out with me and my partner, Aaron, and my business partner, my wife, Jennifer. They choose to be with us. Why? Because I'm looking out at their future, which means I'm reskilling and upskilling them all the time, all the time. So how do you lead with certainty, even with chaos that's identified and unidentified? You start to think, what are your managers? What are your consultants? What are going to be your captains? What are going to be your coaches? How do I reskill and how do I upskill? Can I get a boom in the chat bar, please? Can I get a boom in the chat bar? Because I wanted this, just like everything we do, to be massive value. And I wanted it to be the lowest damn entry point ever, which is free. It's free. But your time is not free, and I'm not taking that for granted. I don't. I respect you for dedicating your time to want to improve, because I know you're fighting for. I mean, what's your biggest thing you're fighting for? Besides yourself, is it your family? Is it your parents? Is it the world? Is it your children's future? Because, man, we better start paying attention. Matt Pillis, yeah, our family. And I want to be part of helping you with that, because that's what's most important to me too. Because look, you guys will all make money over time. You all go to Disney and whatever the hell you go to. You'll go do all that stuff. But in the end, we all know that family, and that's important to us. So if any of you are ever considering what we do, you should know a little bit about us if you're new to our world. Our world, if you come to any of our trainings, there's no drugs, no alcohol. I don't care what kind of car you have. I'm not impressed by your watch. And you don't have to lift up and show me your 6-pack, because I'm not interested in touching your naked skin. So if you're in my world, family driven, and we just want to help you go to the next level. Okay, here's some next steps for all of you. This is part 2 of the 3-part briefing. Okay, this is part 2. Part 1 was the economic ice age. And if you didn't watch that, team, give them a link to go watch that replay, okay? Or wherever they got to go for it. So I want you to go back, watch part 1, the economic ice age. These are stacking on each other. Then I'll get all of you the replay. We'll tell you, and one of my team members, Roxy, will probably reach out to you. We'll get you part 2. And then part 3 is, you will not want to miss part 3. How do I know? Like, even if your kid's talking about getting married on that day, or you're getting married, you're going to want to move your wedding to the day before or day after. I promise you. because the last one, and I'm pretty sure we have the date of it. If we do, they'll tell you. Oh, there it is, June 24th. It's called The Rise of the New Wealthy. The Rise of the New Wealthy. And I'm going to bring you all the wealth strategies that are being created and all the opportunities that you can leverage. I don't care if it's any of the 120 plus industries we're in. I'm going to give you the wealth strategies that we're doing today, right now. I'm going to give it to you then. But here's the fact. You might be saying to yourself, F you, Mike, give it to me now. If you didn't apply business briefing number 1 and you don't apply this here too, I could tell you the most brilliant wealth strategies that I'm using myself. It's just not going to work because you're going to have things out of place. Okay. So I'm not intentionally trying to hold you back from anything. I'm not. I want to give it to you in a logical order that helps you win, because we don't take this lightly at Food Dog Group. And I hope you'll share us a little bit. If you thought we delivered for you and we're serving you, I hope you'll share on social media and at least tell people, hey, go check out Food Dog Group, because I am fighting for your family with you. I promise you that. And after doing 500 million, I can guarantee I'm not here because we need it. I'm here because this is what we live for. Change your life. Okay. So this is what recessions erase the timid. They do. You should write that down. Recessions erase the timid. They reward the prepared. And you've already seen the signals, and now it's time to lead. So what I'd like you to do is decide right now that you're going to win and do what it takes. I want you to move forward and get momentum and get energy. And then I want you to effing win. Win. You know why? Because, we're like, over here at Food Dog Group, our kryptonite is business owners suffering, and our superpowers are business owners scaling and winning and serving their families. So if you don't want to be our kryptonite, which I know you didn't show up to hang out with me because you wanted to be kryptonite for me and our team here at Food Dog Group, then I want you to be our super energizer. So if you could look through your notes real quick and write down something in the chat bar that you're going to implement today. If you'll do that for us, you'll charge me up and I'll be super excited for the rest of my day. If you don't put anything, I'm going to cry myself to sleep feeling that I let you down. No, I'm not going to cry, but I'm not going to feel as good. So if you're on camera or not, do me a favor. Go in the chat bar, type in what's a big action item. And I know some of you are working and stuff. So if you're working, I'm just going to lock into your mind. Okay, thank you. I got that. But for those of you not working, adding course correct to my, yes, end of day report. That's right, Matt. End of day for me. I want to know this. How should I feel about that's the question I always ask. How should I feel about that? Tell me the projection tomorrow and tell me the course correction we're going to do, right? Okay, energies and connect. All right, couple more of you. Come on, let's put it in there. Give me something there. Hey, Dave Dolick, super nice to see you. Working hard. There you go. Don't stop. Don't stop. Okay, leadership, skill set gap. Yes, Stephen. Perfect. Jim Padilla, blue is a good color on you, man. That's a nice shirt. I love that shirt. Okay, finish the org chart. Yes, Heather, let's get it done. And then you'll build the accountability chart. Heather, then we'll get the accountability chart built. All right. Hey, everybody, it's been my complete honor. Some of you, I can't wait to see you. You're coming to Business Power, New Jersey, 3 days. We're going to knock it out of the park. Your life will never be the same again. I got one spot open. Any of you interested? Boom, hit me up. Otherwise, check out the events page. We got great stuff. And ask me, we're friends. So make sure we're friends on Facebook. And that's the best place to message me and see where I'm hanging out. All right, everybody. Boom.